Namaste. Dr. Nailah Gilliam here, coming to you from the sound booth at House of Reawakening Minds. Just wanted to give an update on how I'm doing and to thank you all for your prayers, your kind words, your positive energies that you have been sending to me since my June 7th injury. I am certainly on the mend, but it will be, as I understand it, a very long process. And I'm, working on myself to acclimate myself to a new way of being and moving around with the limitations that come with this type of injuries that I've sustained on both my legs. But I'm taking the time to think about things and to be reflective and introspective about my life, what I want to do going forward. You realize when things like this occur that life is indeed short, at least each life that we're given. I do believe that we live multiple and many lives, but as you are put in a pause position, as I have been, you look at things differently. You reflect, you become introspective. Of course, you want to know why me, and the proverbial response of why not you comes back, because you can handle it. And so I realized that obviously the Creator and myself, because I know we create our own realities, would not have allowed this scenario into my script if I were not able to come out the victor. In the meantime, things have changed. I can't walk without the aid of my quad cane. I certainly can't do my normal dance. I'm, you know me, you would know that I am a person who loves to have fun, love to dance, love to be jovial and all of that. And I've been slowed down, to say the least. But it's given me a chance, as I said earlier, to reflect on just what's important. What is it that I really should be doing, as opposed to what I've been filling the space we call time with. It's times like these when you get a chance to reevaluate and decide what is really best for me and what is my real assignment. Have I clogged my life up with a lot of wants and not really dealt with what I need to be doing? So I'm looking at things like that. Of course, I'm realizing that I need to be working on my next book, which has been delayed for the last couple of years. And I'm going to be putting my thoughts on paper so that I'll have something of value to hand to the world as a legacy of my being here. We're all here for purpose, and I'm looking for mine. I believe I am a healer, and now I really know what it means to be a wounded healer. How can you overstand and understand the process of healing if you yourself have never had a need to be healed? And so part of this journey probably has to do with the fact that I have a calling on my life to heal not only the body, but the soul, the spirit, the mind. We are, a four-part being, if you will, and we need to deal with all aspects of our reality. I am not one to deal with things like depression and sadness, but I will say that over the last several weeks, at least the last few weeks, I felt sad and I felt depressed in a way that I've never experienced before. And I couldn't understand it looking back, I now understand that that also is a part of what I needed to experience, and I need to experience and overcome if I'm to help others who go through depression and sadness and all of these other emotional experiences on a regular basis. I've been so happy go lucky about life. I've never, not saying I've never had sadness, because certainly I've had it, but I've bounced back so quickly that you wouldn't even know what I've gone through. They say something like, I don't look like what I've been through. You've been through the fire, but you can't smell the smoke. So I've been that type person, but I've recently, I must admit, experienced some mild depression, to the extent that I had to recognize what it was, and then recognize why it was, and then get myself to a place of seeing things in a perspective that gave me an understanding of why this thing was happening, so as not to get sucked into it. So I'm looking at my life and reflecting, and I'm happy. A lot of things could have happened on June 7th when that accident happened that did not happen, and I'm grateful. I could have been far more injured. I could have hit my head and lost consciousness, or broken my teeth, or so many other things could have happened with the type of injury and fall I took. But I'm grateful that my mind is still as sharp as ever. My abilities to reason and cogitate is probably sharper, because I'm slowed down now. I can't run here and there because I'm limited by how I can get around. But I want to say that I just want to again encourage anybody that experiences illness or injury, especially sudden illness. This was not something like I was sick and all of a sudden took a turn for the worse, but this was like a wonderful day at the mall shopping, and boom, everything changed. And it can happen in an instant, and that's what happened. So I want you to be encouraged. If you're experiencing anything that happens in a devastating manner that you think will take you out or make you lose your mind, you don't have to lose your mind, but you have to get your bearings. And once you get your bearings, you're able to see things from a total different perspective. And that's what I'm doing. It happens to the best of us. I expect to come out of this. I did run into a person just about an hour or so ago outside a House of Reawakening Minds who said to me, oh, I had a single quadricep injury, and I have a double quadricep injury, but single quadricep injury in 2013, he told me, and he said, I am just starting to feel, my knee is just starting to feel like normal 4 years later. And then every now and then he says it wavers and it gives way. Well, here I am with a double quadricep injury. And so, when you start to hear things like that, what normally tends to happen, we tend to internalize those things, and we start to think, is this what it's going to take? Is this what's going to happen to me? Am I going to be debilitated for the next 4 years or forever? So I've learned how to compartmentalize what I hear and not to apply everything I hear to myself, because I know that my mind is one of the greatest participants in my healing. And as long as I am guarded with what I allow to go in, and I'm really into a positive mode. I went to see an awesome holistic naturopath this weekend who did an iridology session, did an allergy testing, did spinal testing, and all without x-rays or blood work, and was on the money, on point about what was going on in my body, not just with this injury, but just a plethora, a host of things. The natural way is always the best way. As a matter of fact, keep your eyes and ears open. I will be bringing this brother to the House of Reawakening Minds, and you'll want to be here if you can for this session. It's not going to be a Facebook Live session. You're going to have to actually physically come here for this, but you will be glad you did, particularly if you're facing some health challenges and you want to know exactly what's going on without going through the invasiveness of x-rays and blood tests and biopsies and so forth. Naturopaths are able to look into the body via other avenues and tell you exactly what, not only what's going on, but what you need to do to get relief from those situations. So I'm just grateful for the people who I'm thankful for Brother Taj for turning me on to this brother, and then for the brother himself for the awesome session and all of the information and things he confirms, things I knew that he didn't know I knew, but the tests that he did, which, like as I said, there was nothing evasive. There were no x-rays or blood tests, but he could pick up a lot of things that were going on, and that's the way our ancestors used to do it, and that's the way of healing that we're going to have to employ if we're going to overcome big pharma and all the things that are out there that we think can cure us, but what they actually are doing is killing us. But I'm not going to get into that. I just again wanted to say thank you and for all your prayers, all your positive energy, all your concerns, all your positive notes that you've given me on Facebook, and just keep them coming, because like right now I'm in a space of just contemplating and trying to figure out my path forward. What is it that Dr. Nailah Gilliam is to do so that I don't waste time? I want to make the best of the time, what we call time, and do exactly what it is that I am here to do. And one of the things I know I'm here to do is reawaken minds. And here at House of Reawakening Minds, where we are reawakening minds one mind at a time. Are you awake yet? Namaste.